Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War Live BattleCast. In this particular game, we are going to play the Greenskins against the Warriors of Chaos, so definitely should be a party. We're going to go ahead and get the Orc War Boss. We're going to get 2 Goblin Big Bosses to support him. Regardless of the matchup, I think these guys are very, very good picks. On top of that, we're also going to get a Night Goblin Shaman. We're going to get rid of the Madcap Mushrooms and simply just keep the buffs. He's very cheap, 450. You can actually save a little bit of money as compared to the Orc Shaman. On top of that, Black Orcs are a very good pick here. Just a very, very strong unit. And we're going to get 2 groups of big uns just to help deal with Forsaken and other threats like that. We're also going to get our Gobbo Firing Squad. Also very useful here. This sunders the armor, and then you're able to do quite a bit of damage with those low-tier Gobbos. We're going to get the Mangy Marauders. Very, very fun unit here. And actually, we're going to cut 1 unit there, and we're going to get their Ragnarok Queen. Just a very, very solid unit, and I think that'll kind of shore up our army. If need be, we can use the, let's see, do we have Slippery here? I think if we get rid of these buffs here, and then get rid of it on the Orc War Boss, did we already do that? I think we did. So it's not going to be quite enough, but that'll actually allow us to chevron some units, which I think is probably worth it. So we'll chevron up those Black Orcs, and why not? Let's just throw a random chevron on one of these goblins here. So yeah, so I think we should be okay. The Mangy Marauders are very good at skirmishing with Chaos units, so if he has like some Chaos Warriors with great weapons or something, they can actually rack up quite a few kills before the battle starts. Granted, he'll probably have like Manscores and things like that. So what I'll end up doing most likely is just leaving the Orc War Boss as well as the Gobbos in the back. And when the Manscores land, I'll just send the Orc War Boss and then the Goblin Big Bosses to kind of support there. Use the Spider Summons, in the front line to get that rear charge bonus, which is very nice. One of the very strong utilities, and why the Vampire counts are obviously so good now is because they're, essentially their ability to spam summon. So they can just chain summon zombies behind your infantry line. And if you're playing as Empire, for example, Halberdiers and Spears have okay leadership, I suppose, but they'll still crumble pretty quickly if they're being attacked from the flank, even by zombies who also cause fear. So that's, very good. And the Spiderlings with the Spider Queen, very, very good as well in that same respect. So we're going to get our Black Orcs in the front line like so. We're going to get our big uns just in the wings here. I could line them up in the front, but I'm actually going to stagger them a little bit, and just so I have a little more flexibility in regards to helping out in the flanks. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. All right, so far so good. And we're going to get our Gobbos here, kind of rearrange their formation just a little bit and put them in this nice little pocket we've created here. So again, like I mentioned before, we're going to have these guys in a separate control group. They're just going to literally sit behind these Gobbos and just protect them. Because I think, the value of this firing squad, especially against Chaos, is going to be pretty good. So let's go ahead and put the caster in group 1. These guys are going to be in group 3. We can just Vanguard them for fun up here. And the Spider also can be in group 1. So we'll just put it over here in one of these wings here. So far so good. Let's go ahead and pop lock and lock that. All right, there we go. So we got the Mangy Marauders. I really like these guys, actually. I just discovered them recently. I mean, granted, I knew about them from the start, but I hadn't been using them much, and I've been really, really enjoying their skirmishing capabilities. They're very irritating. They can fire while moving, which is also very nice. So definitely some utility there from those guys. But Black Orcs and Big Uns, I mean, honestly, as far as like infantry couples go, they're definitely one of the strongest energies with one another. So let's go ahead and posture up here on the hill like so. We're going to get these guys, and let's just look for some Chaos Warriors with great weapons. And you can see, oh man, he's got the Shaggot squad. This is going to be interesting. So thankfully, I do have this Ragnarok Queen, which will be pretty good here. So let's just run and shoot, because these guys are not going to have any of our stuff. So does he have 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggots here? Oh, that's pretty scary, actually. So we get a fire in there. I don't think we did any damage, really. So let's just go ahead and shoot at these guys. So we're just going to posture up here, just like so. And then we have our Gobbos, obviously. The Mangy Marauders are just going to keep skirmishing. What is this up here? A Chaos Sorcerer with the Lord of Death. That'll actually be pretty good against the Gobbos, which is kind of stressing me out a little bit. But if it comes close, I should be able to gun it down pretty well, actually. And we might actually put the... No, let's go ahead and shoot these Chaos Warriors with great weapons. That's going to be the most cost-effective firing situation there. So I'm not sure if he does have Spirit Leech. That's about it. So he might start Spirit Leech my Lord, which I'm fine with. I mean, I have a potion. It's not going to be the best use. And yeah, you can see he's casting it there. So no other Winds of Magic from him. Chaos Warriors are taking some casualties over here from the Mangy Marauders, so definitely happy about that. It would appear my opponent's trying to drag the battle out a little bit, probably to get more value from Spirit Leech, which is totally fine. Kolek has no way of healing, so if we're able to kind of work him down a little bit, the big concerning part is making sure he doesn't get my Goblin line and just wreak havoc. So we might actually, he has such a weak infantry core, from spending so much on the Shaggots, that if I keep the Spider in the back line, I'm actually going to put it in group 2 and just have it roam and help against the Shaggots. That should be pretty strong. So we're just going to keep focusing these guys down. We've already killed 4 models, which is pretty good. You can see the Spirit Leech is just kind of lurking in the background, just kind of trying to pressure me and get as much as he can from that. The further he gets to the back of the map, something to take note of is that those units are then going to route pretty quickly. So for example, if they break, they won't have as much time to recover their leadership before they run off the map. just a little something I've experienced myself. So another Spirit Leech coming in here. We can use our Potion of Toughness shortly, but look at the Mangy Marauders. They're just destroying this group of Chaos Warriors. So definitely very happy about those guys and their the results they're putting out right now. So we're going to wait for our formation to line up here, and let's go ahead. They're going to line up here in just a moment, so we can go ahead and just start focusing Kolek with those missile troops. Keep our guys here, pull these guys here, and just keep these Mangy Marauders. Let's actually pull them out into wings over here. So we do have Itchy Nuisance. We have all the Gobbo Lords of Magic, so let's go ahead and push forward here. We can engage there. And let's get these Black Orcs over here, get these guys here, and these guys here. So far, so good. So we're just going to wait for these guys. I'll probably just actually use this potion right now because he's so freaking low. But our Goblin Firing Squad is indeed going to pop off right now. So let's go ahead and get all these guys on Kolek. We're going to use the Spider Summons right here to kind of block them up because you can see they're going to run into it right now. And it should obstruct their movement. You can see Kolek's taking quite a bit of damage. So we're going to use the Potion of Foolhardiness as well as the Leadership buffs and just start running with our Lord because he's just going to target it. But you can see Kolek's taking just as much damage. So I'm definitely very, very happy about that situation. Let's go ahead and use Sneaky Stabbing right here. We'll use it on the Arachnarok Spider and some of these other units. Unfortunately, our Gobbos did get kind of tied up here, but you know his Lord is we can actually get the Goblin War Boss fighting this caster. So Kolek's taking a beating for sure, which is pretty solid. So let's go ahead and summon some. Yeah, we don't want to summon. We'll summon some spiders behind his flank over there. So we're just going to start working on the Shaggots now, which is totally fine. You can see my War Bosses here, so we'll reposition those Goblins here, reposition these guys here, and let's actually pull these Black Orcs back to help finish off this caster. We can shoot here and shoot here, and very good. So far, so good. So the Spider's doing pretty well. We'll summon one right here to pressure his back line, and you can see this guy. We can actually chase Kolek off the battlefield right now, which is going to be really nice. So we have a pretty healthy little firing squad here, and the Shaggots are doing work on the Spider, but on that same coin, he's lost most of his very, very valuable units. So these Black Orcs, too, are, you know, crushing his infantry line. He did invest a lot in the Shaggots, so, you know, again, it didn't work out for him. Kolek got chased off the battlefield. The Shaggots were both nearly dead, and I cannot speak enough about how good the Goblin Firing Squad is. If you guys have these guys right here, you know, just shooting and just doing absolute work with, like, I mean, they're just destroying those Shaggots, and because they pierced the armor, it probably brought Kolek down to 20 armor, and then on that same coin, these guys are just going to do massive damage for how cheap they are. And of course, the Black Orcs and Big N's infantry line, few factions can go toe-to-toe with those guys. Just the synergy of their very high stats and just their immunopsychology is just so good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. As far as the breakdown goes, Black Orcs did good in the front line. The Goblin Firing Squad and the Mangy Marauders got 31 kills on Chaos Warriors, which is very, very good. So, yeah, hopefully you guys liked that particular build. And, of course, the Arachnarok Queen, great utility. You saw as his Shaggoths were charging in, we were able to use the, what's it called? I'm totally blanking. The Spider Summoning. I actually just woke up. Slept in super late today. It was pretty terrible. But, yeah, I summoned the Spiders, broke the charge, and then I was allowed to get that advantageous charge there, which was really nice. The Orc War Boss obviously took a beating initially, but just used the potion, just ran, covered him, and Sneaky Stabbing and those other utilities obviously made the combat in the backline quite a bit better. So very well played to my opponent, Insaneness. Look forward to seeing you again on ladder, and hope you guys enjoyed this cast. So what we're actually going to do here, we don't normally do this, I guess, but we're going to do a double header because that game was pretty quick. So we'll just do a double BattleCast and see how it goes. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Maybe it'll be like a new entry in the series, just double header games or something. But you know, I want to start streaming, and I'm actually thinking of doing so in the end of January. So you know, end of January, like 28th, 29th. Probably going to start streaming maybe once a week. Not sure. I'll let you guys know the schedule, but it'll probably be on a weekend, like a Saturday night or something. You know, and just do that, and you know, start stream multiplayer quick match games and go from there. So it looks like we're going to be facing off against the Beastmen. So definitely a very tricky matchup. Morker is tough. He's a tough cookie to crack. So I could play the Dwarves, which is pretty fun. Do we want to play Dwarves? I'm trying to think. We could do our infantry kind of deal there. And the Dwarves, the Chaos Spawn, don't really do as much against them. But I've been wanting to just kind of play more Greenskins. But yeah, let's go ahead and play the Dwarves. I'm really struggling here, guys. I wish you guys were here in chat with me to talk me through this very tough decision here. But let's actually do Warriors of Chaos. Yeah, let's mix it up a little bit. So we could get Archaon. That would be pretty fun with like Lore of Fire and stuff. And does he cause terror? I know he causes... How can the Lord of the End Times not cause fear or terror? You know, it's just perplexing to me. Kolek's a bit of a risky pick here. Sigvald could actually be fun, but I'd like to have, you know, some more utility on my Lord in this particular matchup. And the Chaos Dragon is actually pretty good also. So let's go ahead and get that. Having the flying mobility is just so good. And it hits so hard, it does fire damage. And on top of that, we can actually synergize the Kindle Flame. So we're going to get rid of these. We'll probably keep Piercing Bolts just to have something else at our disposal. We can put him on a Manticore as well. I think that's probably fine. So we'll just probably have these two in the air. We're going to get Aspiring Champions. We're going to get 2 groups of Forsaken. Because a lot of times, good Beastmen players will play mind games with you. You'll assume they're going to bring Ungors and cheap fodder. And then at the end of the day, they're just going to bring like, you know, a ton of Bestigors, and then you don't have enough armor piercing. So halberds are a very comfortable medium here. They can do quite well against, you know, low tier Beastmen infantry with their armor. They have armor piercing against Bestigors, and they also slay Gorbals pretty well. So on top of that, let's see, what else do we want to bring? Do we want to bring like a Shaggoth or something? The Shaggoth is a decent pick. It can get beaten down by Gorbals if you're not careful. So let's see, do we want to do that? What else could we bring? We have some Chaos Knights here. We have some Chosen with great weapons here. Chosen could actually be pretty fun here, just like some standard Chosen or some Chosen with halberds. I don't know though. I gotta hash out these builds a little bit more. I'm just kind of winging it right now. He doesn't really have any missile units I would want Mancores for, but Mancores are pretty good for focusing down, you know, pertinent units. But let's just have some fun, guys. Let's get the Shaggoth. Let's go deep in the realm here. And as far as that, I would love to have some Hounds. This is definitely stressing me out a little bit. So we'll cut these guys, maybe just get these, and we will then chevron these guys up together. All right. So we got a pretty decent situation here. The Poison Hounds are pretty strong, and I really like having them with the Shaggoth, because the Shaggoth is pretty vulnerable. I mean, it's not vulnerable. It has a ton of HP, and it's relatively durable, but it's low armored. And the Beastmen have a lot of tools at their disposal that can really punish the Shaggoth, like Gorbals and different units like that. You know, they can really do some serious work. So, you know, I want to have something to support them. And if he does have like Centaurs with great weapons, I just want to break their charge with the Poison Warhounds and then follow up. And also, I do have 2 Mancores. My Lord is, well, I guess, on a Chaos Dragon. And then I also do have a Manticore in my caster. So I can do some serious burst. So I might go in on Morker. I know he has magic resist. So that's the one issue. And I think he's vulnerable to fire too. So I think we'll actually have to check when the battle starts, because I haven't actually seen a Beastmen player since, you know, the release of this DLC, or whatever, the Realm of the Wood Elves DLC. I haven't seen anyone not pick Morker. I think there was like one game I played like a Kazrak, but maybe, I don't know, because wasn't Morker free LC? Pretty sure he was. So I think everyone has him. And I mean, he's just leaps and bounds better than Kazrak and Malagor and, you know, all those guys. So, and Malagor, you know, is significantly weaker with the nerf to the Cygor summon, because that was one of the, obviously, the nice things about bringing that particular lore of magic, is that you've got the permanent Cygor, which is pretty serious. But now, you know, you summon it, your opponent hides in the trees, they run from you. I mean, it's just not nearly as effective as it was before. But granted, I like the changes. I think it's good, especially for Morker. You know, if he was able to summon those permanent Chaos Bond with no degeneration on them, it would just be so overpowered. And not to say it's already really strong. I mean, bordering on overpowered. But, you know, Beastmen as a faction, they don't have as much at their disposal, I suppose, as some other factions. So, you know, I guess it's helpful. So, what else was I gonna say? I'm just totally blanking. Anyways, let's have a good time, guys. Let's party. Let's get balls deep here. Just do it the chaos way. So we're gonna get our halberds in the front line. We're gonna get 3 in the front line for now. We'll probably keep 1 in auxiliary to just help out with the flanks. We're gonna put these Forsaken in the wings here and here, like so I can like circumvent his flanks. But he's probably gonna have more mobility than me, so we'll see what we end up using those guys for. So these guys are gonna be in group 2. These guys will be in group 3 back here. The aspiring champs, we're just gonna spread here just for their leadership. It's gonna be pretty nice. And we're gonna put a group of halberds in the back as well. So wherever he decides to like send his cav or his mobile force, I'm just gonna send these halberds. Like if he sends Gorbals or something after these Forsaken, at least excuse me, at least I'll have some units to not forsake them. I'll have some units to assist them. So wow, he has a small army. I wonder what that is. It must be Bestigors, which is I'm actually fine with, because the army I got is pretty decent against them. I have a lot of armor piercing. I have a Shaggoth. I mean, I have 2 Forsaken, but the Forsaken can outmaneuver them with their speed and can get some decent rear charges, hopefully. So we'll see. But pretty interesting. I wonder what he has. I'm definitely eager to see. But I do have the Flaming Sword of Ruin. But Morker does have massive magic resistance. So the Flaming Sword of Ruin, I wonder how that would actually match out. But he has Kazrak. Oh, and Bestigors. Interesting. Okay, so he just has like this Mind Games army here, and then a bunch of Minotaurs. But thankfully, here's what I'm telling you guys: bringing those halberds is a very, very safe pick against Beastmen, because they're good against Bestigors, they're good against fodder, and they're pretty good against Minotaurs as well. So we should be okay here. So let's just keep marching and do our thing. So we have these guys coming. The Chaos Warhounds are going to be pretty good here. We're going to use them to break the charge of the Minotaurs. And he has Kazrak. Man, that is a risky pick. He also has a Chaos Giant. So interesting. So, you know, I'm kind of at a loss. I don't really know what to kill first. I mean, there's a lot of high value units, but I think if I can isolate these Minotaurs over here and then also get the Shaggoth and the Chaos Warhounds and the Flaming Sword of Ruin, I think I can just burn them down super quick. And what I'll end up doing is, okay, so they're not making the best contact right now, is I'm going to detach these halberds and send them over here and try and like force a battle over here. That's going to be really nice. And that's actually one of my favorite tactics, is to kind of force battles away from the primary battle when you know you have a superior when I feel I have a superior force. Because what he would want to do in this situation is keep these guys tight with his army so they can reap the benefits of the support of all these units and obviously, you know, those type of things. But if I'm able to isolate them and let him think he can, you know, win this, then I think, or at least bait him into it, I think we're okay here. So this guy back here, we're going to put him in group 4, and we're just going to start running him out this direction. And their Chaos Warriors are very slow. I'm taking quite a bit of a beating there. So we're going to charge these guys in here, these guys in here, and these guys in here. We'll just get these aspiring champs in there as well. And those halberds are going to do pretty well against the giant. So let's actually path them on the giant. We'll pull these Forsaken around the flank here, and these ones can come over here and help as well. So we're going to keep going over here. The Shaggoth should be here. Okay, so it is. So we're just going to posture here and here and just get ready to go. I do have the Flaming Sword of Ruin ready, and I could use Piercing Bolts. I think it actually does a lot against lightly armored targets. So let's go ahead and just wait. You want to wait for the Shaggoth to get in there. So hopefully he's not. Oh, okay, so look, an ambush. Isn't that cool? So these Forsaken are just going to have a field day when they catch those guys. They're going to toss their salads pretty hard. So we're going to go here and here with these guys, and also we'll probably keep him up for just a moment until like kind of the hard fighting starts. So we're going to use Armor Piercing, and you can see my opponent does turn at the last second there. So we're going to use Flaming Sword of Ruin here and just get a nice little jump on these guys, and we're going to go here. Also, the Forsaken are chasing these guys down. Pretty well played from my opponent, actually, making sure to micro them. We're going to get those Halberdiers here, get these Forsaken collapsing right here, and so far so good, guys. So we're also going to use Piercing Bolts here in a moment. I'm not sure where, but we do have some Halberds kind of coming after these Minotaurs, and you can see the Shaggoth and the Chaos Sword are doing very well here. They do have the Flaming Sword of Ruin, so their damage is going to be pretty substantial. So these Forsaken, we probably can honestly just run them through, and against a lightly armored Cygor, they're going to do very well. So Forsaken over there on that wing are able to shatter those missile units, and I want to use the Piercing Bolts, but honestly I don't feel like there's a great place for it. Let's go ahead. I think if you overcast it, it gives it additional armor piercing. Let's actually just try it right here and see what happens. I mean, there's the time to learn. Oh, and of course he moves right when, hopefully he stays right there. So you can see the Forsaken doing a really good job. The Shaggoth and company are doing really good on these Minotaurs. Halberdiers obviously so good. Okay, so let's look here. So, okay, so that does a bit of damage. It definitely put in some work on those guys, and we're actually losing a little bit in the front line. Thankfully, the Forsaken and the other guys here are doing very, very well, so we're just going to kind of ride around and keep finishing off these units. Let's get a rear charge here, and then we can use the, not the Hounds, we probably want to, so yeah, let's get the Shaggoth in there. That should be fine. Flaming Sword of Ruin right here is going to be pretty good, and we can actually start focusing Khazrak with our Lord. Khazrak will definitely have a hard time here, but the Halberds held up okay. You can see they got slightly outclassed. I don't know. I think that was partially due to the fact that there was a giant there. And the Cygor is taking a bit of a beating, so the Shaggoth I have to be careful with. And we do want to get... How do we want to do this? So we'll probably pull the Shaggoth back and also get my Lord back and just let my other units kind of saturate a little bit. Let's get these Halberds in here as well. And my Chaos Sword is doing pretty good over here. What is he chasing? Oh, okay, so there's some leftover Minotaurs. So let's use the Arcane Conduit, as I always forget, and we'll re-engage here, and then we'll re-engage here. So definitely want to get these Halberds taking the beating. I don't want my Lord taking, you know, the primary punishment there. So we're re-engaging here. Let's go ahead and check for routing units, and it looks like those we were able to chase off their missile units. So let's go ahead and pull these Forsaken back to the main fight, get our Lord going here, and all right, so Khazrak's taking a bit of damage here. The Giant is also not in the best shape. The Poison Warhounds are going to get a little bit of a charge here. Let's go ahead and have them charge, and they should be able to help break those guys also. So my Lord here, we're going to use the Potions of Foolhardiness, and we did break Khazrak, so very good. Oh, he's actually wavering, which is good. So is his Giant. I mean, they've just taken so many army losses, so you know, definitely a good game there. It was a fun one. But yeah, guys, I really think that bringing the Halberdiers is good. I mean, the Bestigors, they have 40 plus weapon strength, pretty good combat stats, and these guys obviously aren't meant for like, I mean, they have some decent armor versus armor capabilities, but they're a safe pick. Against Minotaurs, they do well. Against Bestigors, they can hold their own, especially with support of the Lore of Fire. They can really just, you know, bring so much utility to the table. And even if he brings low tier infantry, they're high armor, they're going to hold down really well against the Beastmen. So Forsaken are great picks here. Also, you know, again, a lot of people will play mind games and just bring armored, you know, builds. So somewhat like this, I would say. And, you know, still they're pretty good for flanking and, you know, helping in, you know, auxiliary battles off on the wings. And of course, the Shaggoth actually performed pretty well. But interestingly enough, he didn't bring any Gorbals. I'm not sure why. I guess he just invested a lot in these Minotaurs and was hoping they would pay off. And also, of course, the Giant. You know, a bit of a yeah, I guess it's not a bad pick against Chaos because a lot of people don't bring Halberds. And against infantry blobs, Giants with the Terror is pretty good. And that's partially why a lot of my troops in the front line did rout. But anyways, it was some good stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that Chaos cast and that double header. I'll definitely be doing some more of these if you guys want. You know, again, I always figured that people's attention span could only last for what, like, you know, 7 to 10 minutes. That's how I am, you know, sometimes with most videos. So, but if you guys enjoyed this format, let me know. I'll gladly do more of these. And, you know, I don't even mind playing for like an hour straight and just recording it and showing you guys that. So just let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and we can go from there. Hope you guys all have an excellent night and take care.